What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And when I read this article, I just had to laugh because it's how ignorant do you think people are? And it's at this point like people know the lies. It's blatant. It's straight up blatant. It says explosion in new heart conditions dismissed as post-pandemic stress disorder. And I'm sure that makes you laugh as well because you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Do you take me to be like a squirrel or something? Not to diminish squirrels by any means, but ridiculous. It says experts in the UK say that an explosion in new heart illnesses in younger patients can be explained by a new condition called post pandemic stress disorder. Yes, really. It says a London Evening Standard report quotes senior vascular surgeon who works at an NHS hospital in London. He says, I've seen a big increase in thrombotic related vascular conditions in my practice. Far younger patients are being admitted and requiring surgical and medical intervention than prior to the pandemic. He said that the cases are a direct result of the increased stress and anxiety levels caused from the effects of the current pandemic. He also said that people dying at home from conditions such as pulmonary embolism and myocardial infarction was down to them self isolating and not seeking the medical care they need. And here you see everyone laughing. This is actually a reptilian picture of another picture of like presidents, and other politicians, drinking and laughing with each other. And it goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Everyone has heard of PTSD, but we really urgently need to get our heads around PPSD, said Rayner, who's a psychological therapist, adding that the pandemic and the resulting lockdowns have brought a massive effect on the mental health of the whole nation, which no one's disputing that. Obviously, when you're locked up in your home and you can't do anything, obviously it's gonna impact you. But when you start seeing young people have these heart conditions out of nowhere or just passing out like flies, you read into it more because you know it's not just what they're telling you it is. And here you see the latest trend of cardiac attendances by Scottish Ambulance Service. It says this is excess above the 2018-19 norm. Huge spike in the summer, 500 ambulance calls per week above normal, mainly between the ages of 15 and 64. So there you have it. Um, Here is a tweet by Candace Owens that says, never mind my last tweet, I've just learned that the sudden increase in heart related illnesses is likely due to, and you can read what she says. Whoops. And it's classified as PPSD. And she says, nothing to see here. And there you go. Folks, is it PPSD? Because I have a hard time trying to understand. Can you folks help me out? All right, I'm going to show you a video about your favorite doctor. And he'll say things that I'm going to talk about. So take a listen.
I'm hearing from so many vaccinated people who feel as if, there may be some personal rewards for getting vaccinated, but they still face all these restrictions and measures.
Well, yes, that is just the reality of the situation. I mean, one thing that vaccinated people can feel comfortable, for example, let's take the holiday setting. You're with your family, you have grandparents and parents and children. When you get vaccinated and you have a vaccinated group and you are in an indoor setting, you can enjoy, as we have traditionally over the years, dinners and gatherings within the home with people who are vaccinated. And that's the reason why people should, if they invite people over their home, essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence that they are vaccinated.
I'm hearing from so many vaccinated people who feel as if, there may be some personal rewards for getting vaccinated, but they still face all these restrictions and measures.
Well, yes.
Okay, there you have it. So, one thing in Germany during the 30s and 40s, what happened was people were ratting each other out. Family, neighbors, acquaintances, friends. And in this case, he's saying people should essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence of their status. At some point, it's causing division between families because I'm sure there's families who are divided on the issue. And before all this, they used to get all together, have family dinners, whatever, right? Get together for the holidays. But now, they're going to be policing their own family members and checking on their status. And no longer will there be that, jovial family gatherings. Now, it could be filled with contempt. It could be filled with, just overall segregation. And this is sad, and this is just beginning. And when you put this into perspective, this may seem, let's say, this may not seem threatening, but the very principles that this is instilling in these listeners is mistrust, segregation, dysfunction within families. And that's dangerous. So, if anyone could please help me in trying to answer this difficult question about PPSD, I'd greatly appreciate it. Let me have a little bit more understanding of what this all means. I'd greatly appreciate it. Sarcasm. Anyway, it's the Digital Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.